intercultural understanding. In a world that is increasingly global, with huge flows of people and information, it seems obvious, to me at least, that we should try to increase intercultural understanding. By that I mean understanding how other peoples, that is societies, nations and civilizations, order their lives, how they think, their worldviews, their social norms, and placing that alongside our own, the one we are brought up in. In fact, when I say our own, because of that huge flow, many people in many societies are themselves intercultural. They have started in one culture and they've moved into another, or their parents are one culture, they're another. So it's intergenerational, it's within yourself, and it's between entities. And my interest through life and in my work as an anthropologist has been in that sphere. I sort of think of myself as intercultural in that I'm 5/8 Scots and the rest are English and Welsh. I'm brought up in my infancy in India and then came here, and I've spent much of my academic career, the research part of it, travelling to Nepal, to Japan, to China, to other civilizations. And the goal of anthropology is precisely intercultural understanding. Its mission from very early on was to go to the other, whatever that other was thought to be, spend time there, learn the language, and then come back and try and explain to people in your own culture how that other world lived. And there have been many great books and monographs on that theme. So what started mainly as a fairly small-scale interest among anthropologists and others, I mean small scale in that they went to one fairly remote community and reported on it. Now I've been pursuing this in terms of a much wider agenda, not just trying to understand a particular village in the Himalayas or a particular part of China, but trying to understand whole cultures and civilizations. And the purpose of this is twofold. One is that it's enriching to all of us to know about the diversity of human beings, and it's good educationally, and it's fascinating and interesting in itself, but also with, I suppose, a view that we now live in a very fragmented, contentious, confrontational world, as we have for more or less ever, but it seems more so now. And if we don't understand the other and others, then the dangers of confrontation, leading even to armed confrontation, are very great. Much of the war-ridden history of the last 70 years since the Second World War, the Vietnam Wars, the Middle Eastern Wars, Afghanistan and so on, largely derived from the fact that many people, particularly in America and in my own country and elsewhere, knew very little about the civilizations and societies they were bombing or threatening or trying to change. And so I feel that it would be extremely important, and is important, that I contribute what I can to that intercultural understanding. It's not at all easy. The whole point is the difference, because when you go to a significantly different other, whether it's India or Japan or China, then everything is reversed or done differently. The whole family system, the whole religious system, the whole political system, all these things are not what we are used to. We're brought up in a nuclear family system with a monotheistic religion, some form of democratic politics perhaps, and a certain social structure. But these places are totally different. Their foundations, their assumptions, their history, their logic, what ties them together is totally different. And in order to get into their worlds, you have to do what anthropologists do, which is, for a moment, suspend your judgments. Don't immediately dismiss things as stupid or superstitious. Try and understand them, see the logic in them, and you will often find that they're not so dissimilar deep down. It's the surface manifestations, and you will often find that they have a great deal that is worthy of our understanding. So I feel this is important, interesting, and something which I'm delighted to have given good chunks of my life to furthering.